Michelle, I am positive that you feel very much like celebrating because the this is 1 year of episodes right now. This
Oh
is our
no.
yeareth episode.
Oh no.
Oh no, what does that mean?
That's such a sad day for a year episode.
What do you mean? Expand on that
I don't
point.
it just seems so sad today.
So
I
what you're
don't know.
saying is it's sad that we've been doing this for a year?
Yes.
We have sat down and done, as of this one, 54 episodes.
That's a lot.
It's a chunk.
Yeah. Yeah.
You seem shocked.
I don't I mean I'm just surprised anyone has listened. I assume that people who listened at the beginning have dropped off and we have a new audience
That
people
they're
that drop
long
off.
dead.
Yeah.
Long dead.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I understand that they had to die.
So uh, how do you, I mean, honestly though, like, how do you feel about it being 1 year of doing this podcast?
I don't know. I, I guess I feel okay.
You're suddenly so afraid.
Hmm.
You don't have any feelings about it other than just a general discomfort?
I mean, that's definitely most of it. Um, I don't know. I guess I feel okay about it. I guess. Um,
I mean, that's ringing. That's a ringing endorsement.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, sure. It's everything's good. Yay.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna start the new year of shows, I may as well start with one of the most important elements, which is putting you on the spot. That's kind of a major tradition of the program, is putting you on the spot.
Maybe.
Maybe, uh, but no, it's pretty wild. The biggest thing I'm surprised by is we haven't missed a single week.
Wow.
And when we started it, that was one of my thoughts, was like, and who cares if we miss a week? Like, this is just,
Hmm.
we're doing this because we want to. And then we never missed a week.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
but didn't you also read that like you can't miss any weeks ever or everyone will hate you
no, that's
when
just
you
what my
make a
anxiety
podcast?
told me.
Oh,
That's just
okay.
what my anxiety was like, if you miss a week, you'll die. And everyone
Okay,
you love will
yeah.
die a week later. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh no. So no, it's been interesting doing the show because I did podcasting way back when podcasting was completely new. I had a show that I did well over 100 episodes of, and it did okay for its time. I do sometimes kick myself. I'm like, man, if I had stuck with it, it might have an insane amount of listeners by now. Because now
Yeah.
everybody knows what a podcast is. Back then, I had to explain to everyone what a podcast was. I had to be like, it's like a radio show, but it's on the internet. And they'd be like, and I'd be like, and you get it through RSS feeds, so you don't have to look for it. It just shows up. You can listen to it. And they're like, what's an RSS feed? And I'm like, your mother is an RSS feed. That's what it is. I give up. So
Yeah.
it was hard. And now it's like people are like, oh cool, you have a podcast. So does my uncle and my cousin and I also
Yeah.
have a podcast. And
Everyone
all
I
those
know.
and all those podcasts are different podcasts. None of those cross over each other.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I mean, you I would say reluctantly agreed to do this podcast with me.
Yeah. I think that's probably a fair description of what happened.
Do you do anything that, like, not reluctantly though?
I don't know.
I mean, it's a fair question. I'm just wondering.
Um, I don't know. Maybe not.
So, I mean, I'm glad that you've been doing the show with me. I really am. There have been, so it's been a year. There have been days where I did not want to do the show. And there have been days where I did not want to do the show. I mean, I just didn't want to do it. I didn't want to have to, like, be recorded because I was mostly pandemic era,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, because more of the show has been done during the pandemic than not.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it's super weird. But more often than not, I end up glad that we did the recording because I had fun, just kind of bullshitting with you. So that's a big plus. You don't have to say anything. It's just a podcast. People are only listening.
No, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just want you to be happy. So,
So what you're saying is you're completely a hostage of this podcast?
I mean, mostly. Um, really, whatever makes you happy. If you ever feel like you can't do it one week, I would understand too.
We've come
'Cause,
close. We had a few weeks where I just wasn't up to doing 2 in a row.
yeah, yeah.
So we would just have to meet up later that week or the next week or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But yeah, honestly, I mean, especially in the later portions of the pandemic, you've been kind of instrumental in making sure we actually do the show, because you're the one who messages me and goes, "So we're gonna record?" And I'm like, "Oh God, yeah, of course, yes, yes, of course we ours."
Well, I gotta make sure, like because I just need to know. So it's important that I ask. Because if I don't ask, then it's my fault. When nobody says anything, and then I don't have anywhere to sleep, it's my fault.
You don't have anywhere to sleep?
Yeah, touring. You gotta ask people things. If you don't ask people things, it's your fault.
I mean, yeah, 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 yeah. No,
So it's my fault a lot. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. I every time you tour, I'm always like nervous for you because you have to find places to stay and avoid bed bugs and stuff.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
very fun.
Yeah, no more. Really. I mean, I'm just not gonna stay in people's places anymore
Yeah,
if the world goes back to normal. It's just not worth bed bugs at this point.
yeah.
I just don't want to do it anymore.
So now that
So,
you have a house you really like, you're like, okay, I don't want this one to have bed bugs. The old one maybe, but not this one.
oh, would have been okay. No, I don't want any houses that have bed bugs. It's terrifying. I'm scared of them. So, I no.
See, well, out here we had a bed bugs. We had bed bugs, become a thing, but not like where you are. I mean, it was bad, but it wasn't like out where you are, where it was a big concern on everybody's mind.
I mean, there are people that I know kind of near-ish you that had problems.
Oh yeah,
That,
definitely, me too.
and the times that I've come in contact with bed bugs were never near me. So,
Oh, I just know that bigger cities tended to have
mhm,
bigger problems with bed bugs.
sure.
That's all I was getting at.
Yeah, oh,
What I was saying,
totally.
I'm just trying to say that your people are dirtier than my people, was all I was
Yeah.
really getting at. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's true.
but no, I
So,
mean, I definitely knew more than one person who had bed bugs out here.
mhm.
I just know that it was like big news in the bigger cities.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yay, we're talking about bed bugs. That's what I want.
Sorry.
That's what I want. No, that's what happened. I gave you the reins, Michelle. Talk about what you want to talk about, which is
That's
mostly bed bugs.
that's not what happened. But no, you have to ask. If you don't ask for things, then it's your fault. That's what I learned.
I mean,
So,
you do have to ask for things. If you don't get something you never asked for, why you can't really be upset.
yeah.
That's definitely accurate. Uh, Good relationship advice from Michelle.
Yay! Yay! Look at me doing stuff about stuff I don't understand. Yay!
So I you know I wanted to come up with a way for us to celebrate a year of episodes.
Mhm.
And like I said, I mean, basically the best way to go is to just put you on the spot. I mean,
Mhm.
that's really my favorite thing about this show, is just putting Michelle on the spot, never preparing her. I mean, every time I have an idea of what the episode will be, you're the last person on earth I tell. I
You
mean,
tell
literally,
other people?
I sometimes do. I'll be like, "Oh man, I think this week's show is going to be about this," and then I'm like, "I can't wait to hear what Michelle thinks live while we're recording it." But so I want to challenge your memory. I want your recounting of how we met.
No,
Come on.
no,
Come
no, no,
on.
that's so wrong. No,
It's so long?
no, wrong. But
Wrong?
that,
It's wrong.
yeah.
How we met
I
is
don't,
wrong?
I don't know. That's what my brain said.
How we met is wrong.
So, so, so my boss, um, I guess knew you because that she was dating somebody that you also know. And
A friend, it could be.
I mean, if that's what you want to, I wasn't putting any like labels on any. And so then I think you Facebook messaged
No,
me?
because back then
No.
Facebook was only for college people.
No, I'm sorry, MySpace. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, MySpace messaged me.
MySpace.
And we were like, I guess talking a little bit, I
Mhm.
guess. But yeah. And you couldn't like, I guess we weren't like messaging because that was either, at that point, either you would do it on an instant message platform or
We aimed a little bit
did
because
we?
I
Yeah.
still remember your AIM name. So
Well, but it's not that hard because that's still my AOL mail address.
don't make people think less of you by telling them things like that. Like
No,
that you
it's
have an
okay.
AOL address.
It's okay. I don't really use it for anything. I just get spam there. Um, I get a lot of spam there.
I believe it.
Um, um, so we talked, and then I guess you were probably like, "Hey, do you want to like hang out or something?" Maybe. And I
And
was
you were
like,
like, yeah, or something sounds good.
yeah, so I was like, yeah, sure, there's a person. And so then I think we were like gonna meet in Princeton, right?
Yeah, near where you lived in New Jersey.
Yeah,
Because I lived
yeah.
in North Jersey and you lived closer to Central.
In central New Jersey.
Yeah.
So yeah, we decided to go, I guess, hang out in Princeton because I don't know, seemed like an okay thing to do at the time. And
And
so
now
I
you
think
regret it at this moment.
but I think we like just kind of walked around
Hmm.
Princeton. I don't know if anything else happened
We might
besides
have
that.
gotten warm drinks.
Did we?
I can't remember for
It's
sure.
I
It
mean it's
sounds like
quite
something you do.
possible.
You do
Yeah.
that, so
Yeah. So maybe that happened. And uh that was that. That that's how we met.
it's very exciting when you put it that way. I mean,
I'm sorry. I,
well, because then I think it was after that. Then you came over to my house and I cooked you food,
mhm. Yeah.
and then I came over to your house and had dinner with you and your mom and I think your brother and sister were there too.
Yeah, I think they're probably all there.
And that was the time I got lost on the way there and
Mhm.
was really freaked out because I didn't have a GPS. And
Yeah.
I actually had that moment where I was like, am I going to get unlost or is this it? uh that's my favorite story about getting lost because I was on a road and I was like, well, if I just keep driving down this road, it'll go to
Right.
something, and it just turned to dirt and then dead ended it to abandoned factory or like
Mhm.
buildings of some sort, business buildings, with a car with no wheels in front of one of them. And I was like, well, this is it. This
Yeah.
is how I died. Because I remember I made it to your place, and then when I got home that night, the first thing I did, it was Saturday the next day. The first thing I did when I got up in the morning was went straight to Best Buy and bought a GPS. I was like, that ain't ever happening again. I was so lost I didn't know what to do. Um, but yeah, and God, that was like what, 2007?
I don't know. Maybe.
Good work. Um, the funny thing about our friendship is, we were friends for maybe a year and then I moved away,
Mhm.
give or
Yeah.
take. And so the majority, I mean, well, now the vast majority, but the majority of our friendship has always been distanced, you
Mhm.
know? And it's still weird. I still, in my brain, it's getting better now, but for the longest time, like when we had been friends for like 7 or 8 years, I still had this thing in my mind, like, Michelle, one of my newer friends, I'm trying to get to know, It's like, you've known them a while.
I guess it's just kind of the didn't know me growing up thing.
Yeah. I mean, because
Maybe.
we must have met when I was like 22 then, or maybe even 21. So pretty young, but
Yeah.
not, crazy young.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then I went to your shows
Mhm.
and watched you play music. And one time I went to a show at a vegan cafe and ordered food, and they never brought me my food.
Mhm.
That was really not nice of them to
Yeah.
do.
I'm sorry. I'm sure it was, because I was around, since that's happened to me multiple times at places where people just don't bring me my food.
Crazy.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, I ordered like this vegan wrap thing and paid for it, and then they never brought it. And so I was like, well, my vengeance is I ate like a Whopper at Burger King on the way home. I was like, take that, vegans. You wanted to save the earth. Well, this cow's on your conscience.
Yeah. And they made some money that day since they didn't have to make your food for you.
Yeah.
So,
No. Well, I mean, let's. After seeing the way that place was run and the people who were running it, they lost less money than normal that day.
mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I think. So, since we're talking about shows, do you have the worst show experience or the weirdest show experience, the most surreal show experience of your life?
Um,
Because how many tours have you been on? Do you even
I
know?
don't know. Just
Like
some.
10?
Probably not that many. Probably
I
like
feel like it might be
5
almost
or
10. It's
6
got
or
to be more than
something.
5. It's been at least 5 or 6 since I've known you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like to count those things. It doesn't make me feel good. Um, I mean, most of the shows have been just kind of okay. There was the one that like lasted until 3 a.m. Then it was just ended up becoming people doing a noise project just to themselves, and I was like, cool. Like it's someday I would like to go to sleep though. And it was me and like another touring actor, and we were both like, this is bullshit. I want to go to sleep. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I want to go to sleep. So that was one of the ones where I was like, cool, I'm gonna sleep in my car because it's too loud in here. But that was a really, really good show. It just kept going forever. And really, like by like 3 a.m., like there was nobody. It was like 5 people, and they were all just like in a noise project. So it's like
Do you think
this.
the show is still going right now?
It actually wasn't going the next morning because I just slept on their street, so it ended.
In your car on their street. I mean,
Yeah,
you were just
yeah.
laying on the road. Good night. Good
Yeah, I was like,
night.
this is better. It's quieter out here.
Hello, centipede. It's
Um,
probably just slithers by.
but another like I'm sure there are some bad shows. Oh, there was one show where like everybody noticed that I was weird pretty early on, and the show started like 5 hours late. So it was
5 hours late.
it may have been less than that, but it was like the longest delay in the opening of a show that I remember. I'd been there for like so long, and I was like, could we just fucking do this? And they were like, we're just waiting for more people to show up forever. And they eventually started it, but like yeah, but like there were just hours of people like noticing that I'm weird, and it was the most uncomfortable experience that I've had in a long time. The show wasn't terrible. Oh, except that there was like those annoying bands who were like, I don't want to play last, or I want to play last. And it's like, and it wasn't like they had to leave. It was just like, we think we're too good for this. And I like got all jostled around, like I was like, I was going to play this time. Then I was like, no, I don't really care. Like whatever you guys want to do. And then somebody got really, really high and slammed into a screen door and was bleeding. And I don't know if that was the person who got high. I think the person who got high slammed the person into the screen door, and he was bleeding. And it was like, oh my God. And the person that I was hanging out with, who at that point I was like, this isn't a good person anymore, because he was like, don't worry about him. He just likes attention. It's like, he's bleeding. His head is bleeding. Like, what's happening here? So that was a weird one.
He's bleeding.
Yeah, the worst ones are the ones that like nobody comes to.
Sure,
But
of course.
the weird ones are interesting. No.
I remember the first time I ever played a real show. They put us on last, and we actually got up at 1:30 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah, I was amazed how many people actually stuck around.
Wow.
1:30 a.m. So, and then we played for a half hour. It was good times.
That's too late.
It was pretty late. Um, Man, the guy's just walking around bleeding. He's just a drama queen. Just
Really,
likes
I
to
was
show
usually he was like, don't look at him. He's just yeah. No, like I was just like, okay, you guys are all insane. I have to leave.
Well, it sounds like he might have been right though, because I mean, he makes a point. You couldn't ignore him. I mean, take it from a guy who went to wrestling school. You can cut a tiny portion of your hairline and bleed all over yourself without much fuss.
Okay, but he got slammed into by a screen door.
Yeah, but he could have just cut himself slightly after it happened when you weren't looking. That's what they do in wrestling.
I mean, if that's what happened, then maybe I'm totally misunderstanding the situation, and everybody actually had my best interest and his at heart for not over dramatizing the situation. But I did see him get hit in the head with the screen door, so I'm not sure.
Was it like a busted screen door so it like caught him and sliced him?
I don't know. I don't think so. But the house was in really, really bad shape, so possibly.
Yeah. Did you at least administer a tetanus shot? I know you travel with at least one tetanus shot.
They don't have it anymore. I had to use it. So
What situation made you need to use the tetanus shot?
I was on the railroad tracks and I tripped over them, and then
How do you trip over railroad tracks? There's just two of them. You just walk with them.
No, but there's the things in the middle, and
yeah, those aren't the tracks. That's the boards. I don't know. That's just being contrary. That's not the tracks. So okay, so those are because I would imagine the shows with people would be the weirdest ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the shows without people would be the worst ones, like the ones where just nobody comes, which is sucky because it's really hard to promote a show and get people to come.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But it does suck when you travel. Even for shows I did, like sometimes I had to travel 45 minutes or 50 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get there and it's like, oh, you didn't like tell anybody about it. You just put up a poster one place and we're like, done. I did. Yay, me. Oh, sorry.
I don't know. It's hard promoting shows.
Well, so did you ever have a moment when you arrived at a tour destination where you just went, oh God, no one's gonna be like, this is not what was promised or whatever?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it was somewhere in probably in Massachusetts. There was a show that I was just like, oh my God, no one's gonna come to this.
Like when you showed up, what was it like? Paint a picture.
Well, it was like in somebody's house, because they happen to be sometimes like on a second floor, like apartment maybe, something, with just these people who seemed nice enough, but like nobody was there when I got there pretty much, and nobody really came. And the person who was running it kind of had like apologized for like dropping the ball on it.
Oh,
but it's just like that was like after another show had fallen through, I think, like right before that, and that was the day that I noticed that I had a rash from bed bugs. So it was like really bad because I had like come into their house and I was like, I don't know why I have a rash on my face. Like I look like I'm insane. But yeah, I knew like right away no one was coming. And I don't know exactly how to explain that. It just,
it was just a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Like you walked in, you saw like a tumbleweed bumping across the road, and and like plague doctors wandering through the streets, and you're like, nobody's gonna be
no
here.
One's coming to this.
This town has been dead.
Yeah.
You just have a guy standing on the corner with a sign saying, cholera, don't get cholera. The town is ravaged with cholera. Don't stop here. You'll get cholera. There's a town like that in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, really?
Where literally you show up and the guy's like, don't stay here. Everyone's got cholera.
Oh, God.
My favorite thing about that, by the way, just a side note, is I watch, YouTube gamers and stuff. And one guy was talking about like doing a walkthrough and he was like, in this town, people are very sick. They have cholera and it's blah, blah, blah. The guy had never heard cholera. So he said cholera when he was reading it. He just kept saying cholera or cholera. It was cholera. So they're very,
Wow.
the people here are sick with cholera, and of course your character can't catch it, but it's interesting to see this town ravaged by cholera that is. And I was just sitting there like, it's cholera. For
Aw.
fuck's sake, it's cholera. It's cholera. This is the most times cholera has ever been said on a podcast.
Maybe. There's probably a podcast about cholera,
Like an
realistically.
entire series of podcasts only
Yeah.
about cholera.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, Tony here, and today on the Cholera Cast, we're going to be talking about cholera. Cholera. And then it's like
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's a pretty good show, the
Mm-hmm.
Cholera Cast.
Yeah.
Or yeah, Cholera Cast, I guess that's the best one, because pod cholera doesn't work to me.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know. I mean, pitch me. What do you think's better? Come on.
I was just gonna call it like the cholera hour.
The Cholera Hour. Alcoa presents the Cholera Hour. So I know that Halloween is already over by the time people are listening to this, but I'm assuming, are you going to sit down with some pizza in the Twilight Zone and hope people stay off your porch? Is that your plan?
I don't think the Twilight Zone is on Halloween.
Oh, wait, no, I'm thinking of New Year's.
Yeah, but
Twilight
I'm gonna
Zone.
try to get pizza, I guess.
Try to get pizza?
know.
Like, you'll see if you can figure out how.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
gotta know a guy,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
You do have to know a guy.
I know this
So
guy. We call him Papa. Papa John. Shh, don't say that name too loud.
my neighbors had invited me to hang out on their porch with their friends
Oh, that's nice of
where
them.
they give out candy, but they have a small porch, and I don't know if I want to be that close to them or people ever again. So
It's nice of them to invite you, though, to be friendly.
yeah. I hope that they don't dislike me if I don't come.
Well, at least you can, since you live right next door, at least you're able to like wave and say hi and visit with them for a minute and stuff. Like,
Hmm.
it's not like you don't have to be completely absent.
Yeah.
You can pop
Yeah.
over and say hi and wish everybody well and tell them happy Halloween and then be like,
Hmm.
but you just want to hand out your own candy at your own house. That's all.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
I'm not handing out candy, but
Are you going to
yeah.
put out the sign that just says hot egg, please only take one?
Yeah.
I can't get over hot egg. Hot egg. Are you going to put up a sign that says please take only one?
No, I'm gonna make, little goodie bags, and then they're just gonna be put around.
Goodie bags with one piece of candy each? Because you told me you were only giving these poor kids one piece of candy.
I did not say that.
Yes, you did.
I said I wasn't gonna give them that many pieces. I'm not gonna give them
Alright.
one candy in a goodie bag. That's like, why even have the goodie bag?
Brutal. That's
It is.
cruelty. That's like Scrooge level hatred of the holiday.
And I'm giving them candy.
Are there no prisons where they can get candy?
I guess not really. I don't know that they do that.
I remember that a couple Christmases ago, I was at the movies with my buddy Dave, and somebody was dressed as Ebenezer Scrooge, and I just went, I love the stereotypical depiction of Jews. And Dave was just like, what? And I was like, look at Ebenezer Scrooge. And he just looked at her and looked at the person like Ebenezer Scrooge and was just like, oh shit. And I was like, yeah, the hook nose, hates Christmas, loves money.
Yeah.
It's at least mild. And in the end, Ebenezer's a better person.
Yeah, he does get reformed.
So he finds Jesus. So no, but at least, I mean, at least he's not just, like if he was a straight up anti-Semitic caricature, he would just stay evil. So at least he got to have an arc and become a nicer person and stuff.
Yeah, become not Jewish.
Become no longer Jewish. Exactly. That's the moral of the story.
Yes.
Don't be Jewish. Didn't these ghosts convince you? They're like, oh. I'm the ghost of Christmas past. Don't be Jewish.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, Christmas Carol's a little weird. I do love it though. So it's one of those things though, because it went public domain, you just get a billion, versions of it. So there's
Hmm.
lots of versions to enjoy.
Yeah.
And not all of them are horrifically anti-Semitic.
Yeah, very true.
But some depictions of Ebenezer, I mean, they're just straight up hook nose. They're just like, oh God. Anyway, and let's not even get started on witches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But what are you gonna be for Halloween? Come on,
No.
dress up.
No.
You could be an anime kitty.
No. But it's too late. But I did make ears because I was gonna tear. See, now you're making everything.
Oh my God, you're gonna put the ears on?
Yeah, because you said that I had to wear a costume 2 weeks ago, so I made ears, and
You need bobby pins.
no,
No.
I got it before.
For those not seeing this visually, Michelle's taking these paper cat ears and sticking them into her hair, and they're sticking pretty well.
Okay, so I have cat ears, and then I made this, and I just put it like this, and I'm Gigs. Okay.
I gotta give you that one. That was
Thanks.
that. All right, you pulled it together on our 100 or 1 year anniversary episode. That was
Good.
wow. I can't top that. For those not able to see, Michelle held up a little piece of paper over her nose, upper lip area that just said nothing. Her cat is missing a major portion of her face. So, but she can make that joke because Gids is her property. So
she's not my I mean, she is, but she's not my property.
I'm pretty sure you own the cat.
No, she's a member of the household.
Oh, so she pays taxes? What taxes does she pay?
She helps with homeowners insurance, and also she pays sales tax on her cat food, and she sometimes pays some real estate taxes.
So you don't buy her cat food?
No, I do, but she pays the taxes.